up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria and this week I wanted to show you guys how I shoot my film photography. Basically, film photography has become really popular. I feel like everyone's using disposables in film, especially like Bryant and Dobrik just keep posting film pictures, and I feel like everyone is taking film photos, and I personally have always loved film. I've been shooting on film since the beginning of 8th grade to 9th grade. I learned how to shoot photography first on film because you really have to understand how like aperture and shutter speed and all those sorts of things to understand how film photography works. And I know that a lot of people are really interested in it and a lot of people really want to get into it. So I thought I would show you guys how I shoot, what I shoot on, what film I use, how to develop, and stuff like that. So let's just get right into the video because I have a lot of stuff to tell you guys. So first things first, I'm going to tell you about my camera. This is my camera. It is a Pentax. I'm not really sure what kind of camera, like I know it's a Pentax, Asahi MV, I don't know, but it's a Pentax. This was my dad's back in I don't even know when, like 1970, 1980, and I love this camera so much. First of all, it's really aesthetically pleasing, like it's really cute, and also like it shoots really good quality pictures. This is the only film camera I've ever used and I really love it. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't suggest getting something like this because these are expensive. I know you can't get this exact model, but there are definitely things that are really similar to this one. I'll leave a couple of great film cameras linked down below, but this is more of an intermediate camera, so if you're just starting out, I would start with a point and shoot camera. Point and shoot cameras do aperture and focus for you, so you don't have to figure those things out. A really good place to start is the Olympus Pen. It's an amazing point and shoot film camera and the pictures turn out really nice on that one. But this is my camera of choice. This is my baby. I take such good care of her. To understand photography and film photography more specifically, you have to understand the three basic units of photography. The first one is aperture, the second one is ISO, and the third one is shutter speed. So the first thing that you have to know is aperture. Aperture is basically how much light you're letting into your camera, and aperture is important on film cameras because if you overexpose all your pictures, they're going to turn out like absolute crap. So you have to know what kind of aperture to use. A really safe aperture to shoot on is f8. That is the mid-range of aperture. I think it goes up to 22 and down to 2.5. If you shoot always on f8 and pretty much any kind of daytime weather, your photos will for the most part turn out. If you're shooting in more of a low light, you want to open up your aperture more. So you go to like an f2 or an f3. So the bigger you want your lens open, the smaller the number becomes. Opposite, if you're shooting right into the sun, you want to tilt your aperture to 22 or 18. I never go all the way up to 22. Like 18, 16 is a really good place for high lighting situations. So if you're shooting in golden hour, I would turn your aperture up from f8 to something like f16. And then the next part of film photography is shutter speed. Shutter speed is determined by your film. So my film of choice is the Kodak Ultramax 400. This is just, I find that the pictures on this film is so nice. I used to shoot on Fujifilm. It was an okay film, but I recently switched to Ultramax and I love how it looks. I shoot with 400 speed film. It has a little bit more grain than a 200 film would. How do I explain this so it makes sense? It has a little more grain than a 200 film would, but the 400 speed film can pretty much shoot in any kind of location at any time of day. It's the most versatile film, so I like to have this because if I pick up my camera and 400's in it and I'm going to like a party and it's a little bit darker, it's a good film to take with me. Or if I'm going outside to take pictures, it's an amazing film to have. And that is pretty much everything you need to know as a basic for taking film photos. You have to experiment a lot, like your first photos are going to turn out really bad. And if you're nervous and you don't want to dive in and get like a really nice camera, the best disposable camera you can get to take really cool film pictures, and obviously those have flash too, is, oh my god, it's a Nikon and it's green. I'll insert a picture or I'll link it down below or something, but that is the best one to take disposable pictures with. So now I'm going to break down how to actually take film photos. So I have a couple left on this roll. I have 4 left. So basically, you want to look in your camera and obviously focus it, and you want to set your aperture so it's light enough. And then what you're going to do is wind your film. This is already wound. And then you're going to take the picture. So again, you wind your film and then you focus it. I like to take 3 pictures at a time because I like to adjust my aperture in between every picture, so then if my aperture was a little bit off, it's changed in the next picture so the picture does come out. Especially when I'm taking pictures of people or friends and I do want them to for sure turn out, I like to adjust everything in between each photo. So taking pictures is actually really easy. When you have your film and you're done with your roll, first thing you want to do is put on the cap. Like, it's not really important to put on the cap because your shutter is closed, but in case you accidentally open it for some reason, you don't want all your film getting re-exposed. That's the most important thing until you put the film through Developer and Fixer, which I'll talk about later. That's the post-processing process. Oh my god, my brain today just is not working. Once you put it through all that sort of thing and it's dried, then it can be exposed to light. If you expose it to light without developing it first, then all your film is going to turn into like white. It's happened to me before. It's absolutely horrible. Sometimes I think I'm done with a roll and I'll open up my camera and then all my film will be like exposed, and that's like, it's something that happens and it kind of sucks, but it happens. So yeah. So to take out my film, I have a button that releases the film from the thing inside. I'll show you how to load it in a sec. I twist my film around. So you have to rewind it manually. I think on some cameras, I know on the camera that I learned in photography class, they taught us on Canon, I don't remember the exact model, but we learned to shoot on point and shoot cameras that you could switch to manual or auto, and we learned to shoot on those and they automatically rewound the film. But make sure when you're buying a camera that you look and see if you can wind the film manually or if you have to do it, if you can wind the film automatically or if you can do it manually, because if I knew that, I would have gotten a manual, oh my god, I would have gotten an auto winding camera. And when I feel it kind of release and it's easier to wind it around, I pull up, spring that open, and there's my film completely wound up. And now I'm going to show you guys how to put the film into the camera. So this is what fresh film will look like. It will have a little tab of film. This is actual film, and it will have the canister, obviously. So what you want to do is insert your film into your thing, and then you want to bring it across. Obviously, these first couple exposures are going to be overexposed, so these pictures won't come out, these first couple here. So then while the camera is open, I like to wind it around a couple of times just to make sure that my film is on there completely. Then I close it up. And then this is kind of important because if you take pictures like this, that part of film that was right there that you expose is going to be overexposed. So if you take pictures like this, the pictures won't turn out. So whenever I put in new film, I always pick a shot where I'm pointing directly into the sun so I know exactly what shot I had to waste. I don't even focus it, and I just take, normally I do 3 photos, and that will get the film to a fresh film, and there will be no overexposedness on your pictures. So that is really important. Don't forget to do that. So that is how you wind film into your camera. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is getting your film developed. So once you take your pictures, you obviously want to get them developed because you want to see what they are. So there's 2 options you can do. If you have a disposable camera, just bring that to CVS. You can't really do that one yourself. But if you have a manual camera or point and shoot where it winds the film back onto the canister, there's a couple things you can do. I learned how to develop and process all of my own film, so I know how to develop. If you guys want to see a video on developing and processing, let me know in the comments down below and I will make a whole video on it. But developing can actually be really expensive. You have to buy all the chemicals, it smells really bad, you need a dark room, it has to be all done in the dark. So you can develop it yourself, but if you're more of a beginner film person, a film photographer, I would take your pictures to a camera store. I used to take my 35mm to CVS, but CVS, they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, they do know, and their people are good, but for the most part, every time I took my pictures to CVS, they kind of turned out like crap. So I started going to this place called Woodward Camera, and they would develop my film, and it honestly looks so much better, and I absolutely love how my pictures would turn out when I took it there. So try and take your film to a camera store if you can. If not, CVS is a great option, and they will normally develop your film. I think when I go to the camera store, it takes like 4 or 5 days. When I go to CVS, it takes about 2 weeks, and your pictures will be in prints. Yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about film photography. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will respond. I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it was kind of boring, I'm sorry. I didn't have any other ideas, and this is something that I really love and I really want to share with people because it's becoming more popular and I know a lot of people want to do it. So yeah, that is everything I wanted to show you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. I upload every single Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to like and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.